Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Budget Freedom. My name is Jessica, and today I want to talk to you about how to choose an accounting software for your small business. Now, this is a really good thing to consider, even if you have a small side hustle. If you're planning on trying to develop it and grow it into a business, it is always good to start tracking your accounting from day one of any real business that you're trying to do. Now, if you're just doing a side hustle where you're just going to sell one or two things a month, that doesn't require accounting software, obviously. But if you are trying to get to the point where you're going to try to sell 50 to 100 items a month, you do have a business, and you should really be tracking all your accounting information in an accounting software. The reason I say use an accounting software is because it makes everything easy and it helps you keep everything clean. If you try to do this on Excel or on paper, you're just going to make it harder on your accountant or bookkeeper. And I am a bookkeeper. I'm telling you from experience, just start from the beginning, guys. And it's going to make your business better as well, because you're going to be able to make better business decisions a lot quicker than if you have to wait for your accounting software to get caught up. Let's say in 3 years, you're like, oh, now I want to grow my business. Now my bookkeeper needs, first of all, you need to pay a bookkeeper to do all that catch-up work, which is going to take a lot longer. And second of all, you're going to have to wait for it all to be caught up and reconciled before you can actually start making decisions. So the sooner you start with your accounting software, which again, I recommend from day one if you're trying to make a business in any shape or form, you're going to be able to track your numbers, your sales, your costs, and make better business decisions a lot quicker and grow your business a lot quicker if you go ahead and start with an accounting software ASAP. So I am a QuickBooks expert. I did work for QuickBooks, and I am a bookkeeper, and I use it a lot. I use both the desktop and the cloud version. So the cloud version is called QBO, QuickBooks Online. It comes with a monthly subscription. So the cheapest subscription is $50, $49 a month, and then it goes up from there to $70 and more depending on the Premier. So you're looking at a minimum of $49 a month for QuickBooks. And then there's another one you could use called Xero, and that actually starts from $24 a month. So it's about half the price of QuickBooks, which is good for your pocket. There is a cheaper Xero version that starts at $5 a month, but on that version, it's really, really limited. Like you can't receive payments on invoices, simple things like this. So I don't recommend that option, especially if you have inventory. You won't be able to do anything with inventory in it. And even a service-based business, you want to be able to create an invoice and receive money against it. That's the whole point. So I don't really even understand why they have this $5 offering. So don't go for it. Look at the $24 offering versus the minimum QuickBooks package. They're both user-friendly and pretty easy to set up. I find QuickBooks easier. I find it more user-friendly, maybe because I know it better. I'm sure if you are a brand new person, you might understand Xero better. For me, Xero just has, as a bookkeeper, it has a lot more limitations than QuickBooks. It limits what kind of journal entries you do. It limits how you can post things. It just has a lot of limitations from the daily aspect of it. It also doesn't have a bulk inventory option to update your inventory in bulk. You can import your inventory in bulk, but then if you want to update it, you have to go line by line, where in QuickBooks, you have the option to do a bulk inventory update. So you just open up the whole inventory, and it's like line. You just quickly go fill in all the numbers and do one update, and it updates your stock. So I prefer that in QuickBooks. Xero does integrate with a lot of apps. So in theory, you can do the same thing QuickBooks does. Sorry, but then you have to get an app to integrate with Xero, and you have to pay for that additional app and synchronize that additional app. And I'm just kind of of the mindset that if this is something that you're going to be doing a lot and it's really important to you, it should be something that comes in your accounting software as a basic. It shouldn't be something that should be an add-on. So that really depends if you're going to be doing a lot of inventory updating. And if, remember, you can do your inventory updating on Xero. It also depends on if you don't want to do it line by line, because in Xero, you'd have to go to one item, update the stock, close it, save it, go to the next item, edit it, update the stock, close and save it. So you can still do the same function, you just got to do it one by one. Where again, in QuickBooks, it opens one big screen and you can quickly fill in all the lines and save and close it and be done with it. So it's a different way of doing it. I think that QuickBooks is faster, especially if you're doing big quantities. But if you're not going to be updating stock a whole lot, like if your stock is going to be, you know, pretty good, like you're just going to buy it and invoice it and you're not going to have a lot of change. And the reason you would have updates in your stock would be either damaged stock, lost stock, given away stock, like little samples. But even that you should actually put on an invoice Xero rated and just say samples and keep track of that, because it's good for your knowledge to know how much you're giving away. So those are the kind of reasons why you would normally do an inventory adjustment. So if you're not going to be doing a whole lot of that, Xero will work perfectly fine for you. Also, if you need to do a lot of strange journal entries, I would recommend QuickBooks over Xero, because Xero limits your journal entries. Like in Xero, you cannot post to accounts payable, accounts receivable, or the banks. You can't do journal entries to any of those accounts. You also can't do journal entries to other, like your main inventory account, it also locks it. And your equity accounts, some equity accounts you can post to, but then some you can't. So like if you had to post to retained earnings or something, you can't do that in Xero, where in QuickBooks you can. Usually you should not be posting to that account, just so everybody's clear. But there are a lot of instances where CPAs will tell you, I want you to post to that account, I want you to change something there. And the problem in Xero is then you would have to actually create what they call a shadow account. So it would be a duplicate account and you'd have to post everything there. And then on your balance sheet, you would see the two accounts canceling each other out. And maybe I'm just not used to it, but I like the fact that in QuickBooks, I can choose when and how I'm going to post to things. I don't like an accounting software telling me what I can and cannot do. But that's my personal preference. Again, if you're not really going to be doing a lot of these things and you just want really simple, straightforward, and a cheaper price, Xero is a good option. It's very user-friendly. It's got a lot of functions. The reporting is great. It integrates with a lot of softwares. It integrates with Zapier, so you could set up a lot of Zaps to automatically post things to your accounting software, which is quite cool. QuickBooks also does integrate with a lot of things, but it has more limitations as far as integrations go. Although it does seamlessly integrate with like Shopify and, you know, other programs. I don't want to name them all now. Whereas Xero, you have to like build an integration, whereas QuickBooks is like automatically featured there in the software, and you just say connect QuickBooks and it's there. So that's part of the reason I think that QuickBooks charges more per month. They are the #1 accounting software in the world for small businesses, and they have put a lot more investment into building these integrations already set up for you to make it easy. So that is probably why you're paying a bit more. And obviously it has a lot more functions already set up into it as a basic accounting software than Xero does. Xero is really, really, really basic and charges for the extras. And again, you have to get the apps, and you know, you have to build integrations with some software. So it is, Xero is more of an open platform, but it is more complicated, and it does take a bit more work to get it all set up. But again, if you're really just going to be doing basic stuff, Xero is a great option. If you choose Xero, though, I would speak to your bookkeeper or speak to somebody knowledgeable and just ask them about, you know, your future. Basically, if you have an idea of what you're planning to do, ask them if Xero will be a good fit for that. That's what I would say, because in some situations, like if you are doing what they call an assembled item. So let's say you're buying a bunch of raw materials and you're making an item to sell, do not go with Xero. There is a way to do it, but I do not like it. It's a lot of work, a lot of double work that is just not necessary. So if you're doing something like that, go with QuickBooks. It's going to change your life, and it's going to be so simple and on point. Where in Xero, you're going to very quickly not have the correct reports. There are actually like 4 to 5 extra journals that you have to do every month to sort out those built products, to make sure that your inventory is correct, your raw items are correct, and all of that. You got to do all those conversions manually. Where in QuickBooks, you set it up as an automatic, and every time you sell one of those finished products, it just automatically takes everything out from all the different raw materials, and it's really seamless. So from that point of view, if you're doing anything where you're buying a bunch of raw materials, manufacturing or assembling something and then selling it, QuickBooks 100%. If you're selling something to just buy and sell, that's an already finished product, and again, it's going to be really basic, and maybe you're not looking at having a ton of different SKUs, different variations, colors, sizes. If you're thinking of maybe a basic inventory of 100, even 200, Xero is a good fit for you. Anything larger than that, I would not go with Xero. I would definitely go with QuickBooks, because QuickBooks has unlimited stock and Xero does have a limitation. And again, the way the stock function works, again, there's other limitations there. As far as reporting goes, I personally think that the reporting is pretty equal. Some people say that Xero's reporting is a bit better, but I have been working on QuickBooks for 14 years and I have never had a problem making a report that I needed. And actually the inventory reports in QuickBooks are more advanced than the ones in Xero. What do I mean by that? They show you gross profit, average cost, gross margins, sales margins and profit margins on your stock. So they give you a lot more details that Xero doesn't do. Now, yes, true, in Xero you can report it and you can set it up in Excel, but you have to know how to make those calculations. So if you want a more ready-to-go system with reports that are more detailed like that and you don't have the accounting knowledge, I would rather go with QuickBooks. But you can do it in Xero as long as you're willing to do the work to set it up. Xero does have reports set up, basic reports set up, but they're very, very basic and they don't have the detail that QuickBooks has as a default. The detail in Xero you have to build up. So that's kind of the difference. I really like Xero. I'm working with Xero now, and I don't have a problem with it overall. I think that it is, once you get used to it, it is pretty user-friendly. My love is QuickBooks. I go back to it. I like Pastel. I like SAP. I like QuickBooks-based programs. I do think that it's more user-friendly. It has more functions. My biggest gripe with Xero is the fact that they are restricting my journal entries. I do not like that, because when you get into accounting, there are situations where you might need to do journal entries to accounts payable or accounts receivable, depending on the setup of the business, the way they receive the money, the way they pay out the money, and so on. And with those limitations in Xero, there are workarounds for it, but I don't like workarounds. I like things to work the way I want them to work. Even though I am working with Xero right now and doing some workarounds for a specific client, it's not my favorite thing to do. I would really prefer to have it set up the way I would want it in QuickBooks. But it's, like I say, it's doable. It just really depends. And you need to weigh your options, guys. So this one client that's working with Xero, they chose Xero because it integrates better with some other programs that they really need. So when you weigh the scales, it was more important for the accounting software to integrate with these other systems better than the other minuses to Xero, where QuickBooks would integrate, but it had a bit extra charge and it was a bit more difficult with some of the specific software that they wanted. So I am not recommending one over the other in all, like as a blanket rule. I'm like I said to you, if you're doing build assemblies, if you're doing manufacturing, QuickBooks is definitely the way to go. Absolutely not Xero, because you won't be able to do it in Xero properly. It will really cause you a lot of problems. But if you have a simple service-based business, either one will be perfect. If you have a simple inventory-based business, either one are good. Again, just remember that in Xero, you can't update bulk stock. You have to do it one by one, where QuickBooks, you can do it in bulk. If you have a really large inventory, QuickBooks 100%, Xero is going to limit you, so that won't work for you. So you see, there's different reasons why I would choose one software or the other depending on your business. But like I said, if you're small business starting out right now, really basic, want to keep your costs to a minimum, go ahead and start with Xero. It's half the price of QuickBooks. Unless you're manufacturing, go with QuickBooks, guys. Don't even waste your time and money on Xero, because it's just going to be a waste. Everybody else, you can try Xero and start it. If you don't like it, you can always export the information into QuickBooks and go with QuickBooks at a later time. It's not a big deal and it won't cost you that much. And you can try it out like that and see if you like it. There are free trial versions of both softwares, so maybe that's a good option before you go ahead and purchase one. If you're not really knowledgeable enough to be able to make that decision, reach out to me, guys, you can reach out to me at any time in the comments, on my website, on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm available everywhere. I'd be more than happy to have a quick chat with you, find out what you're doing in your business, and give you my opinion. It's just an opinion. It's not a rule, but I'd be happy to help you out with that. Otherwise, reach out to your bookkeeper, CPA, anybody else that you know. Just make an informed decision and think about all the different aspects of your business before you choose an accounting software. Don't just choose an accounting software just based on price or just based on a friend's opinion, because even a friend that might know what you're doing, if they're not a bookkeeper and they don't know how things are going to have to be set up in your software, they might make a recommendation that's not right for you because they don't understand. So it's really good to try to get somebody that is knowledgeable to give you advice and help on that. So I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope it gets you thinking. And I hope that you have all the success with your new business and have a lot of fun with your new accounting software, whichever it is that you choose. Please leave comments in the comments section. Let me know what you thought about this video. If you have any questions or comments about either software or prefer another software, I will do more videos like this in the future. I think it will be helpful to small businesses, and I'll do some on screen to show you some of the differences as well. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.